LeBron James, a name that will forever be etched in the history of basketball.
Wade from behind takes it away. Chalmers, Cole, James!
But what if I told you basketball was only the beginning of his legacy? This is not just a story about a basketball player. This is the untold story of an 18-year-old kid who was broke and raised by a single mom. One day, a CEO slides a $10 million check across the table to a boy. Take it now. Don't meet with Nike or Adidas. A life-changing statement and money. But that boy, he pushed it back and said a big no, because he saw something even bigger on the table. That kid, he was LeBron James. And that decision, it was the first move in a billion-dollar chess game. Yes, this is the billion-dollar blueprint of LeBron James. LeBron James' childhood was far from easy. Born on December 30th, 1984 in the tough streets of Akron, Ohio, LeBron Raymond James entered a world filled with struggle. His mother, Gloria James, was just 16 years old when she gave birth to him, and she did everything she could to keep food on the table. But the world had no idea what kind of force was growing inside that little boy from Akron. Because when he picked up the basketball for the first time, everything changed. At the age of 9, his mom sent him to live with a local football coach named Frank Walker, where he was introduced to basketball. By the 5th grade, he was already a local superstar. Basketball was no longer just a hobby for him. It was LeBron's ticket out of poverty. When asked about dealing with expectations early in his career, LeBron confidently said, "There is no pressure at all. I've been getting pressurized since I was 10 years old." And this mindset prepared him for the challenges that tested him in both basketball and in life. By the early 2000s, LeBron James had already become a national sensation. A 17-year-old high school kid, dubbed the Chosen One, was on the verge of becoming the #1 overall NBA draft pick. But before he even touched an NBA court, his life was about to change forever. While LeBron was dominating high school basketball, major companies started circling like sharks. Nike, Adidas, Reebok, they all wanted him, and one day, Reebok made him an offer that would change his life forever. Reebok CEO personally flew down to meet LeBron. He came with a briefcase, and what was inside that briefcase? A $10 million check. For a teenager who had never seen that kind of money, it was tempting. That check could have changed his and his mother's life forever. All LeBron had to do was sign the paper and promise not to meet with Nike or Adidas. And that was $10 million cash right in front of him. But he chose to say no. A 17-year-old kid who had nothing and had never seen such a huge amount turned down $10 million. Because he knew if Reebok was willing to pay $10 million in cash, how much would Nike or Adidas offer? And that was his cue not to take the bait and wait instead. And that is where LeBron James' business empire quietly began. LeBron's patience finally paid off. Fast forward to NBA draft night, LeBron was officially the #1 overall pick by the Cleveland Cavaliers. But what made his day was the jackpot that he hit that day. Behind the scenes, LeBron had just signed a deal with Nike, that too worth $87 million over 7 years. Even when people stamped it as a blunder, LeBron knew what he was doing. He could have had $10 million in cash up front from Reebok. Instead, he took less money from Nike because he wasn't just thinking about now. What mattered to him most was his future, and he knew that Nike doesn't just sign athletes, but they build global brands. LeBron was sure that if he could play his cards right, Nike would make him a billion-dollar brand that could bring billions home. And guess what? He was right. Over time, his partnership with Nike grew. In 2015, LeBron signed a lifetime contract with Nike, which was the first in the company's history. A few years later, another insane deal landed on LeBron's lap. McDonald's approached him with a $15 million endorsement deal that most would never refuse. Most athletes would have jumped at the opportunity, but LeBron turned it down. $15 for promoting Big Macs? Easy money and easy fame. But once again, LeBron said no. But why would he miss such a big chance to shine? Because he had his eye on something bigger. Instead of signing with McDonald's, LeBron invested under $1 million into a small, unknown pizza chain called Blaze Pizza. At the time, Blaze Pizza wasn't well known, and investing in a small franchise seemed risky. But LeBron believed in the company's potential. And he didn't just invest his money, but promoted Blaze like it was his own company. By 2023, LeBron's $1 million investment turned into over $40 million. And once again, he proved that true wealth comes from ownership. But the single greatest business move of LeBron's career happened in 2015. By this time, LeBron was the face of NBA. His Nike shoes were selling like crazy, and that's when Nike offered him something no athlete had ever received before: a lifetime contract. Yes, you heard it right, lifetime. The deal was rumored to be worth over $1 billion, and just like that, LeBron became the first NBA player ever to sign a $1 billion shoe deal. It was official. LeBron James was no longer just an athlete. He was a walking, talking $1 billion empire. But LeBron was still not done with his ownership dreams. Along with his business partner, Maverick Carter, LeBron explored new investment opportunities. In 2021, LeBron did something no player had ever done before. He bought a 2% ownership stake in Liverpool FC, one of the biggest soccer clubs in the world. During the meeting, LeBron and Maverick had a bold idea. They proposed that LeBron himself should be treated like a franchise. This allowed FSG to promote LeBron to other companies and earn a percentage of any revenue created from those deals. But here is where it gets genius. A few months later, LeBron exchanged his Liverpool stake for 1% ownership in Fenway Sports Group, and that brought LeBron a piece of the Boston Red Sox MLB, Pittsburgh Penguins NHL, Liverpool FC Soccer, and Roush Fenway Racing NASCAR, all in one go. This was a bold move to diversify his investments and increase his net worth in folds. But even after becoming a billionaire, LeBron still had one final mission. Even when his investments were growing, there was still one thing missing from his portfolio: a platform that allowed him to tell his own story. "I want to own an NBA team in Las Vegas," he said to himself. Partnering with FSG gave LeBron access to experienced franchise owners, allowing him to learn how sports organizations are managed. And it's a project he's still actively working on today. But the following was one of the most controversial moments in his career. In 2010, LeBron announced that he would be leaving the Cleveland Cavaliers to join the Miami Heat. Instead of releasing a statement or letting the media control the story, he chose to reveal his decision on live television. Unfortunately, it angered many fans and caused a severe backlash around the world. People did not hesitate to accuse him of being arrogant, while Cleveland fans felt betrayed. And later, LeBron realized that to control his legacy, he needed to tell his story in his own way. And that is where the idea of Spring Heel Company sprouted. It was a media venture he co-founded. Spring Heel's goal was to tell meaningful stories, especially those representing minority voices. This platform gave LeBron more control over his public image and allowed him to create content that mattered to him. It has not only built a new perspective for himself, but changed the notion that few had about him. LeBron's ability to make smart business decisions is what ultimately pushed his net worth over $1 billion. His perseverance, strategic investments, and ownership stakes allowed him to build wealth that can last forever. But even with his financial success, LeBron hasn't slowed down or given up his love for basketball. His goal of owning an NBA team in Las Vegas showcased his relentless passion for the sport. His journey is unique. He has faced high expectations from a young age, both on and off the court. But that 8-year-old boy was not ready to give up. He's not just a basketball legend, he's a businessman who's shaping his own path. And LeBron James didn't just become a billionaire by accident. It was all about strategy, ownership, and playing the long game with a vision. So what do you think? Did LeBron chase basketball, or was it all about a billion-dollar empire? Let us know in the comments section. And if you thought LeBron's rise was impressive, wait until you see how Elon Musk went from the edge of bankruptcy to a $400 billion empire. His journey is filled with insane risks, near failures, and game-changing moves that reshaped the world. Click here to watch now.